there's never been a more important time to tie marketing to sales, right? So in the past, marketing do blitzes and push activities and campaigns, and it's an indirect, perhaps an indirect relationships on sales, and maybe not necessarily know what the true return on investment of marketing campaigns. But in this economy, that's not acceptable. We've got to make sure that we are targeted. We've got to make sure we are aligned with our sales operations and sales activities, and we've got to know immediately whether campaigns are working so we can change on a dime if we need to. And when Dan talks about some of the things they've done with their territory alignment, it speaks to that, the ability in an agile state to have insight and visibility, transparency to your business, and adjust immediately to go where the business is. The way we address this market and what we realize is critical to our customers is not just a product that's easy to use, that certainly supports high adoption, that's critical, but also highly configurable and also very open. But we provide a platform that gives you that agility, that's not only easy to use, very easy to configure, and very open so that you can bring in tools, and Dan will describe some of that in the way that they've applied that at Securit.
We are the #1 document destruction company in the world. Most of us know us as Shred-it. That's our heritage. 140 branches in 15 different countries. We have well over now 1,200 trucks on the road servicing our customers, and almost 3,000 employees. We actually shred millions and millions of records every single day, and with virtually no security breaches whatsoever. In our records management business, we deliver and store and retrieve records management records for all kinds of customers worldwide, and we lose virtually none of those. We actually have the ability to retrieve records from our centers and deliver them to a customer site faster than if they actually had that stored on their own premises. Now, in terms of our line of business, it's probably best represented as a flow chart. We've implemented CRM to do this, and I like to call it napkin to cash in terms of the whole process. Where I start off with a dialogue with you, I take your name down with a napkin, and that's really where our process starts. And then it ends with a collection process. So CRM, we've implemented, it manages the customer relationship by starting off with a business partner. It manages contracts, manages service orders. We do some routing in between, and then it creates the confirmation. At that time, it flows into ECC, where we do the final steps in the process by running a billing list and subsequently invoicing and doing accounts receivable. I just want to hit some of the highlights of what we did in terms of some of the solutions that we put in place for driving costs and improving productivity. One of the ones I'll talk about is our master data creation, and for that we used what I think is one of the best secrets that SAP has, and that's the Adobe Interactive Forms. What's nice about it is its simplicity from the user perspective, despite the fact that at the end of the day it's actually very complex. The presentation layer can be whatever you want it to be. For us, we had a customer service agreement, so everybody was used to using a customer service agreement. Like I said, we're signing up customers one every 6 minutes. They certainly know how to do that. And what we did was we represented to them electronically what the customer service agreement would look like. So that was what they were used to. Now, what they did was that as they filled out the customer service agreement electronically, in the background, Adobe actually is calling a session right out of CRM. So it's actually invoking that session, and at the same time it's actually invoking a session in Trillium to do the duplicate checks. What's nice about it as well is because it has that invoking the sessions in the background, we could actually make that form electronically far easier than even hand filling out a paper-based customer service agreement. But a typical customer is more than one BP. You're looking at the bill to, the show to, and the relationships, and also the contact information that's associated with those BPs. Every one of those contacts is another BP. When we looked at it, an actual form that was filled out could be about 6 or 7 BPs that would actually have to be set up. And if you did that in SAP, it would be about 40 screens. And yet we were doing that on a single form using Adobe. So for us, it was a lifesaver in terms of being able to solve our business problem that we had. that whole process I talked about, where somebody is actually in the UK signing up a customer master with 6 or 7 BPs, 40 screens, we can actually do it if we timed in 6 or 8 minutes. By the time they hit the button, save, somebody does it and sends it back to them. So that's, I said 300% process improvement. It's probably much more than that.